Welcome back, everybody. I am currently reading headlines that say German disaster official recommends stockpiling several crates of water and canned food. The reason for this is the increased chance of blackouts coming in February and January. The official states, in quotes, "We have to assume that there will be blackouts this winter." Germany and many other countries are finding themselves getting closer and closer to the chances of no power. We're talking about in the coldest temperatures of the year, blackouts, emergency blackouts, which means you will be out of power in the coldest time of the year. Are you ready for that? We're getting the same warnings here in the United States. All of the New England states, California are already experiencing them. So let's go into some of these warnings, what they're expecting, and then I've got some fantastic emergency power outage tips in case it happens to you in your area. Welcome back to all of our subscribers, and thank you for watching our videos. If you're brand new here, like news that affects you, emergency preparedness how-tos, prepping tips weekly. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. So like I said, guys, Germany is officially being warned by its officials. So have some areas in the United States, warned about power outages, rolling blackouts. That's right, that means they're gonna cut your power for a segment of time during the winter, so that way the power grid doesn't go down from overuse. So let's get into this report, some details, and stick around to the end, and I'm gonna give you guys some really good tips on helping you through an emergency like that of a power outage in the middle of the winter. A couple things that you need to know how to do. And by the way, for those of you that watch me all the time, you can see I'm out here in the barn. This someday will be my studio, and I'll showcase all kinds of stuff for you guys. As for now, it's really cold, but we'll make do. So let's dive right into this. This was actually an email from a subscriber, thank you, notifying me that Germany telling its citizens you need to stockpile several crates of food and water. I just happen to have other really good information to send my way so I can spread it out to everyone. You guys can always email me at that email address right there. So he also adds his 2 cents. The preppers are already way beyond what Germany is asking. But do you think citizens in Germany will heed this warning? Probably not. But they should. They are outright telling its citizens to expect blackouts. That's what I'm saying. Places like Germany, some countries are warning their citizens to expect these blackouts in the coldest time of the year. This report by Duren reads, the head of Germany's Federal Office for Civil Protection and Disaster Relief, Ralph Teisler, has warned its citizens prepare for short-term power outages, particularly in January and February. And he says to stock up on rations in advance. In quotes by the official, we have to assume that there will be blackouts this winter. By that I mean a regional and temporary interruption in the power supply. The cause will not only be emergency shortages, but the targeted temporary shutdown of the networks by the operators. Now, I know we've been warned about the rolling blackouts in all the New England states, and California says they're already experiencing them. I did a video right up here. If in case you missed that, I'll leave that down in the description to make sure you can check what states those are. But these are warnings to expect blackouts, to expect rolling blackouts, which means they'll schedule a time for your power to go out maybe during the day for a block period of a few hours or more. Now, I'm sure our crew is ready for something like that, but that's why we share these videos out. You gotta let some of those people know that are sleepwalking to be ready. Now, whether these rolling blackouts or power outages happen, being ready gives you a major sense of mind. It goes on to read that these temporary shutdowns with the aim of protecting the networks and not endangering the overall supply. Tesla told the news outlet Welt am Sonntag, adding that local authorities in several German municipalities are preparing for the possibility of blackouts and have developed precise plans that include procuring emergency generators to support the system. Sounds like they're totally getting ready for some serious blackouts, and I've got a couple subscribers from Germany that have wrote me that they've been going around and assessing all of the power poles and the power lines. He believes that they're trying to locate circuits so they can actually shut down certain areas at a time. And then I just read a comment from a subscriber yesterday that said that he's been noticing transformer type things on top of the power poles. And he heard that they're a device that shuts down the power grid in areas. The article goes on with that said, some municipalities are not prepared. And despite German gas storage facilities being near capacity, experts don't think that the stockpile will be enough to last the country through the winter due to the lack of new supply from Russia. Tesla also noted, in quotes, "We expect short-term blackouts rather than long-lasting large-scale blackouts, but good preparation is important for that too." And that's what it's all about. Preparations, being prepared, prepping for emergency outages. So they add a prepping list to their announcement. This is what's included. Primarily water, several crates, and canned food. That would be enough for 10 days. Are you guys prepped for at least 10 days? Because that's a good short-term preparation goal if you're just getting started. That's what that agency recommends. Our message is prepare in the first place. Be prepared for possible crisis. Don't assume that everything will be readily available at the time. And that's a good point. When SHTF happens, power outages, power grids, rolling blackouts go down, you can't expect the doors of the stores to be open. They're probably going to be at home trying to survive the power outage. So when that stuff happens, don't expect that you can go and get what you need then, because you won't. Tesla added that the residents should also purchase battery-powered radios and candles. Getting pretty serious. So you might be wondering why Germany's throttling this up. Germany's energies who stem from a drop in gas supplies from Russia. After all ill-advised scheme to shut off their nuclear power plants, the flow of gas was cut off much earlier than expected over the Ukraine-related sanctions, as well as an explosion in September, which rendered the Nord Stream 1 pipeline inoperable. And we all know about that, whether it was sabotage, I don't know. I've heard a lot of different stories, but I don't have a crystal globe to know exactly what happened. You guys can let me know what you think happened down in the comments below. The fact of the matter is that the warnings are going out. Germany's being warned, other countries are being warned, different states in the US are being warned. So I would say there's a high probability that you may experience some type of power outage or a blackout or a rolling blackout this winter. Now I could go on for days on how to be prepared for a disaster, on how to be prepared for SHTF, but I don't got that kind of time. So I'm gonna hit on a couple major things that I think, especially if you're a beginner or you just want things to be a little bit easier, these are a couple things that you could do to definitely lessen the strain of a power outage. So one of the first things that are important on a winter power outage is heat. You gotta be able to have some heat so you can operate. This one right here happens to be a Buddy Flex. This one right here is a standard Mr. Buddy. They've also got a Big Buddy, and we're talking about some serious sales going on right now. So if you guys don't have these, be sure to check them out. I brought these Mr. Buddy type heaters up in a deal video I did just the other day for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Some of them are over 50% off right now. They can easily run off these little canisters, which is another thing you might want to check some local stores because this has gone up in price like crazy. So to be able to take advantage of these holiday time sales for something like this might be a good idea. You can also run these heaters off of propane tanks with an accessory hose. And I'm telling you, a tiny little propane tank like this will run that little heater for days. They definitely a lot longer than these things. But these little cylinders make the unit portable and easy to use. Also, I'll add that the neat thing about the Flex one, which is more expensive, which taking advantage of these sales for these type of things makes it a lot more ideal, but you can cook on a cooker aside from it that hooks to it. So, and of course, you gotta stock up on water. You've gotta have enough water for as many days as you wanna be prepped for. And food, freeze-dried food like this, super ideal to have because they last many years and they don't require refrigeration. So you can hide them under a bed, you can put them wherever, and all you gotta do is boil up some water and they're ready to go. Okay, so if you don't have the big one, you got one more like this, you're still gonna need a way to cook, like boiling water. So you can do that on a barbecue or a little burner like that. If you had the regular little Mr. Buddy like this one, you may wanna have a little camp stove like this. Now I've brought this jet boil up in other videos of ours. This one happens to be one of my favorites. I use it backpacking in the backwoods, but it's lightweight. Really great for just boiling water. And remember, if you guys are brand new here with us, we've got videos on how to make freeze-dried, the machine that we use. We've got videos on all of these generators and emergency preparedness type stuff. This happens to be crock pot chicken that we did, and it is super good. It looks like that. It doesn't look good, but this is absolutely tasty. Now remember, the reason I'm showing you guys this stuff right now is because I know that there's some massive sales on these things. And I'm gonna leave links down in the description below, whether you're wanting to get some Mountain House, a jet boil, a Mr. Buddy heater, or any of these generators, or a freeze dryer. And I'm not trying to get anyone to buy anything, but if it's already on your list to buy, you might as well get it now and save some money. Because I know with inflation and how things are going, it'll probably get a lot more expensive after this weekend. Nonetheless, if you're just getting started, these are some fundamental things to have. Heater, a cooking device, water, food that'll last a while. During a winter power outage, being able to stay warm, have water, have food, and be able to boil some water are some great starting steps. Like the article said, a good starting point is to be ready for 10 days. Being self-sufficient for 10 days in freezing temperatures. So I thought heat, food, water, and cooking were probably some primary steps. And if you guys want to add anything down in the comments below that'll help the people who read through the comments trying to learn, that'd be awesome. So that's what that freeze-dried crock pot chicken looks like. You won't believe how good it tastes. Anyway, guys, don't forget to share this video out. Like it if you liked it. Ready for those winter power outages, rolling blackouts. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.